Welcome to 5 Minutes, your quick dive into the wide-ranging world of insurance, technology, and leadership. I'm Miguel Edwards, and I'll be your guide as we explore these topics that are transforming not just the insurance industry, but the business world at large. Along with sharing observations I've made over the span of my career in insurance, technology, and operations, I'll be chatting with some of the brightest minds in business and leadership. Whether you're a seasoned executive or a rising star, an industry expert, or just curious about how technology is revolutionizing insurance, this is your perfect spot for your weekly dose of insights. This is 5 Minutes.
Sure. But now double click and tell me how how the technology that Fidelity offers actually is going to ameliorate all of that complexity.
Yeah, definitely. So I think a key feature to touch on is the workbench.
Okay.
So after a submission is cleared, then it can go into, say, a workbench where like an underwriter is no longer underwriting outside your email. Mm-hmm. So like imagine how many emails you even get, right?
Yeah.
So like even with that, it's like, okay, I have internal communication, I have external communication, I have all this like junk and like junk mail, and then it's like, oh, I have communication from brokers that isn't even a submission, right? So how do you actually find like the actual submission and then figure out, is this like an active deal? Like, is this something that is actually an opportunity for me to bind business and write premium? So I think that's kind of where we step in, is we're able to filter all that clutter down, and it's very customizable based on any sort of logic. And you can update it very quickly. So say like, I'm an underwriting manager, I want my team to work with this broker. I want my team to grow with this broker team in this region. We want to write more of, say, this line of business and this industry class, this SIC code, like whatever it is. So then it's going to funnel. So as soon as a new submission comes in, that ideal opportunity, that most likelihood of binding. I mean, it's really, underwriting is all about like probability. Like if I spend this amount of time on this account, how much premium can I bind and bring in?
Right.
So I think that's just like, how do I eliminate the decision fatigue to get the underwriter to that point?
I love that, Darren. I love that. Let me tell you one place I'm struggling though, and help me understand if there's an opportunity here. So I love what we're doing for the underwriter. What do we do to shift left and think about even just whether or not we need to get all that data to the underwriter, how we get that data to the underwriter? I'm thinking about the agent/broker experience in doing that. Is there an opportunity there? And if so, what does it look like?
Yeah, I mean, I think ideally, like if us as an industry could like rewrite ourselves, right? But like, that's not going to happen.
Okay.
So we're going to have to work with the tools we have. I don't really see us getting off of email.
Okay.
I just have a hard time seeing us getting off of email. But like what could happen is let's say carriers and brokers become more friendly.
Yeah.
Let's say, and they're open to data sharing more. And there's places that are doing that. There's third-party providers that are coming in, vendors that are helping do that and bridge the gap. But really like the brokers, like the carriers really have all this data, and that's like they're safe, like they're gold, like they're secret sauce, and the carriers don't really want to give that out to people, because then like what's going to happen, like brokers are going to learn how they rate their policies, and then it's just going to like become kind of a mess for the carriers. So I think that's kind of the block, is like, how do we get over that hump? And I don't really think we will. So that's why Feathery helps with the email-based workflow, because that's really what most of the industry is running on.
Got it. No, so that makes a lot of sense. But even if we're attacking the problem where you've described it here at the underwriter's desktop with email, what do you find is the biggest obstacle, the most friction with the technology adoption, with the change management? What are you seeing just in terms of implementing that technology here for the underwriters?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think what is one of the main barriers, I mean, really like what I run into and our team runs into, and I'm sure a lot of other vendors run into, is like, how do you, the people that are experiencing the problem day to day are the frontline market facing people at a carrier. But those are not the people with the budget that's going to sign off for, 100, 300, 500K software.
Right.
They're very different people, and they're very far away. And the people that are, holding that authority to make those decisions, they haven't encountered those problems for 10, 15, 20 years. So I think that's kind of the main problem, is like, how do you get that buy-in at an organization?
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense. I'm seeing a lot of this innovation, Darren, and you're talking a lot about, I guess, an intransigence, perhaps on the carrier side, but I'm seeing a lot of innovation happen in the brokerage and MGA space, seemingly because they've got the flexibility to do so. Do you see that continuing on and leveraging more of these kind of tools and technologies to do that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, MGAs are really one of our strong targets right now. Just a recent example, I think just the speed that they're able to move at.
Yeah.
Like the deal cycle for some companies from like first like meeting to like actually like, closing the contract could be like 6 months. It could be 12 months, really. But some MGAs are coming in and they do it in like 3 months.
Right.
And like, why is that? It's because they need to.
Yes.
So what is the need? I mean, it's based on submission flow, workflow, the amount of, like, in the MGA's business plan, they have to look at like almost every account. Like they have to try to get that market share as quickly as possible. So how do you do that? Either hire a bunch of underwriters, which you can't really do because you're lean and you don't have the training and you don't have the expertise, and you're not able to recruit that many people because you're small and you're an MGA that some people don't really know about. Right. So that's the issue. So what do? You need to invest in software to make your employees more efficient.
Thank you for joining this episode of 5 Minutes. If you've enjoyed our discussion, we'd love for you to share it with anyone else you think might find it interesting. Also, please subscribe on whatever podcast platform you're listening on and hit that bell to stay on top of the game with our practical 5-minute episodes. We look forward to seeing you again next week.